Bug?
Yeah, we've we all had our battles, but yeah, everybody seems to be healthy. I'm still, I'm going to go 90%. I got still a little cough, but I feel 90% better. I feel great. Feel better. It was bad. Pretty hard.
How was Hamir right then?
Hamir's been good. His energy was decent in practice yesterday, and it was nice to have him back out on the court. But the health has been pretty good. We feel better about it, and had a couple days. They had a day off, and then they came back for some individual groups with their individual coach, and had a good practice yesterday. I was really pleased with the practice.
How do you feel like, you said you were pleased with practice yesterday, that they've responded this week after the loss?
Yeah, big thing. Part of the response was to get them healthy and to get them rest and to get them, refocused on what we have to be able to do. Watch some film, and we worked on those deficiencies in practice and where we can get better. And a big part of this thing, it doesn't matter what offense, defense, it's your energy levels. And so that was going to be a big part of getting these guys healthy. Feel like we're in a good place, and we'll have today and tomorrow and to prepare and go down there against a good team.
You didn't have any film on Robert Franks the first go-around with these guys,
Yeah.
But he's not going to sneak up on you with 34 or 31.
No, we're very familiar with him. Played against him a couple times last year. He's an elite player who's playing at an elite level. And they got a really good team. Listen, a lot of these teams, they've lost some games because they haven't had their full roster. And that's, you lose a player of that caliber, you're not going to play your best basketball. And I think that also has allowed other guys to step up on their team and get better. C.J. Ellaby's as good a freshman as there in the league. He has a chance to get freshman of the year in the league. Ali, different guys. They've all stepped up. They've gotten minutes, and you become a better team. And Coach Kent's a really good basketball coach. Going down and beating the Arizonas is a heck of an accomplishment, and it'll be a heck of a test for us. Great challenge, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
You guys shot the ball really well against them first time. What'd you do right to get the great shot rather than the good shot?
Well, we were able to, get in the paint, and when we were able to get in the paint, our shooters found the open spot, and we work on it every day, penetration and kick, and finding the open shooters, and had good rhythm shots, and we were able to knock the shots down. They shot well against us in the first game, and so it'll be a different type of challenge than the last two games that we played.
Do you think that you'll see Franks more on the perimeter, or is he one to try to get inside at high post?
You know what? I don't know where they'll play him. Last year they started him in the short corner, and then the second half they put him at the high post. He's a great three-point shooter with great range. So most coaches will put him all over the court, be in the high post, be in the short corner. Probably sneak him to the corner, be in the dead zone up top. They've got multiple shooters, which allow to space us out a little bit more than we like to. But they're a team that's making 10 threes a game, and it's a big part of their offense, and they shoot a lot of them, and you got to be able to defend that if you're going to try to beat them.
Did Arizona State do anything in particular, sort of getting the ball inside, or was it their personnel?
I just felt, I felt in that game our energy levels weren't great, and we started gambling a little bit on the defensive end, and we just didn't execute. The guys were being able to get by in the bounce a little bit more than usual as of late, and they did a good job of not only getting in there on the penetration or on the pass, but then trying to find the low guy. They did a really good job of that, and something that we worked on yesterday and just in improving. And I've mentioned it before. It's like a pair of jeans that you've worn for a month. You got to wash them and get them back into shape and go on to the next one. So that's what we'll be working on the next couple days.
Is that Arizona State game a game that you can really take anything from, or is it just kind of like a one-off? That's not us, and you just try to forget about it.
You always use games. We were average in defensive transition, average to poor. Transition offense is an area that we can get better at. Defensively, we were fighting. I think that's the good thing. We just weren't fighting with purpose. We were, trying to hit the 10-point shot. It's not the Globetrotters. There's no 10-point shot. It's every possession. We just kind of got a little spaced out, spread out, and lost a little bit of focus. That can happen in a season. So, you know, you go back, you watch film, you chalk it up as a bad performance, and you learn the lesson and move forward and know that you got a quality opponent coming up, rivalry game, great coach, really good players. They're playing at a high level right now, and they pose a lot of different problems than some of the other teams that we played.
What do you see as causing the amount of turnovers you've had recently, and what needs to be done to kind of limit those?
Well, that's a big area that we talked about. You know, just you got to hit singles. You can't just try to be a home run all the time. And you know, we do transition drills every day and try to get organized. And again, you know, sometimes we talked about there's different types of poise. In this game, it was, you know, just making the simple play. It could be a simple skip, and if we're organized in the right positions, we seem to get really good shots. It's been we've been really good in transition for the most part. It's the turnovers where you're not getting shots, and so if we can take, instead of having 18 turnovers, and you can have 11 turnovers, and now I'm not a great mathematician, but 7 or 8 extra shots a game, you know, you're going to make 3 or 4, and so it could be a significant difference in terms of our future success.
Attitude, mentality of the team right now compared to where it was in the middle of the ministry?
I just feel like, you know, listen, these guys have tasted winning, and they know what it takes. They know when we're sharing the ball and we're getting 15, 16 assists a game, we shoot better, there's better flow. We know when we have great energy that we're getting back on defense. We had one of the better transition defensive teams in the country, where teams have to play against us in the half court rather than getting easy baskets in transition. That's how teams try to attack us. And so they know, we know what we have to do. I think they all had great attitudes when we came back and watched film. They all took ownership of the, you know, last year if you talked about it, they could get a little bit defensive to see their growth and understand that it's this is where we can get better, I can get better, all of us. That's a huge step in terms of being a successful team of where we want to be.
To go over Kim's point, do you believe in the notion that it's good to get a loss out of the way in terms of?
No.
What do you?
No, there's never a good time to lose. You know, you just, you know, you go out, you fight, you learn from it. I mean, you're never going to be perfect, but you strive to be the best team you can be. It's like I don't coach the record. I'm coaching the next play, next play, next play, next play, next play. And you know, people, well, if you at the beginning of the year, if you said you'd be 10-1, I guarantee you'd take it. I'm like, I don't look at it that way. I want to win every game. I want them to execute at a high level every game. It's not ever going to be that way, but that's what you're striving for, the staff and us. And so we just got to learn from that loss. Know if we have an opportunity to play them again, how would we play them again? And then how can we get better from that experience, and then prepare for the following opponent. And you know, you can get caught up in all these things. You got to have laser-like focus, and you've just got to have the blinders on. And I think our guys have done a good job with that.
You guys come back from Arizona, and you come into this mess that we have around.
Mess? No, it's not a mess.
There's got to be a story there somewhere on the bus. Flashbacks. Maybe.
Well, the story was coming back, and my wife had the flu, so I was coming back to a sick house. And it was my father, it was the father-daughter. I brought my daughter on the Arizona trip, and I got sick the night before. And I just felt just, you know, we're going to have that. And then the Arizona, I think the high was 48 degrees. So it wasn't like, okay, I can get some vitamin D, maybe sweat it out, maybe sit there. My daughter, you know. But then coming back, the first night we were back, we lost our electricity. So I've lived in a hotel for the last 2 nights. Supposed to be in a hotel until Saturday, and then my son went back to get something last night about 10:30. He said, "There's electricity. The lights are on in the house." And so we were back there moving some stuff over today. But you know, in Syracuse, that would have been a dusting. And so to see how it's been handled was a little bit hard and rare. But you know, it was nice to see the snow. It was a lot of fun, but we didn't handle it too well.
Can you compare the snow in Syracuse to the snow in Seattle?
Well, the snow here, it was real snow. Like I was on FaceTime. I was going down the road, and my road was like road closed, and I wasn't on my phone, but I was like, look at this as I go. And they're like, that's real snow. And that's real. It's not fake snow, or it snowed, or it's a dusting. And you had we have these huge trees. I live in a place called Bridle Trails, and so there's all these huge trees, and all the snow's going all the way down, and the power lines are down, and it's like almost you're in your car and you still duck, and you're like, well, that's not going to make the car go down, but you're like, you know. And they don't plow. There's no salt, and so there was the challenges, but it was real snow. It was a real deal, and I don't love living in it. I love experiencing it for a week, and that's what we got, about 2 weeks of it. So I'm okay with it.
In conference play this year, teams shooting roughly 40% from deep, only opponents under 30. What has led to the success from behind the arc in conference play?
I just think hard work. Our staff's done a great job of getting our guys in the gym, getting extra shots. We started doing the 40-minute shooting groups. We started doing that in Christmas break, and I think it's really paid off. I mean, they do a lot of form shooting, get a lot of shots, making 300-400 a day. I think that's been a part of it. I think we're past, the focus that our coaching staff has on sharing the ball and making one more pass. I think that's been a big part of it. I think, our second team, when Quad A came, and the second team, the competitiveness in practice has amped up, which has been a great thing. All those factors, I think, are a piece of the pie. But there's no substitute for hard work. There's no substitute. And so I give our guys a lot of credit, our staff a lot of credit, getting in that gym and getting those reps.
Coach, how special would it be to see your seniors walk out of Pullman with a win, your Final 50 Pullman?
Geez, winning anywhere is just, I remember going in even before the Arizona. I said, David, you ever win it in Arizona before? He's like, no. It means something, and playing a rivalry game, and these kids know each other. There's so many kids from the state, and they played AAU together, young, old. There's this competitive fire there, a great rivalry, and so yeah, to be able to go down there and to play a team that's rolling right now, and they've got really good players, and they pose a really challenge from the 3-point line. It's going to be a lot of fun. It would mean the world, and all these wins. The countdown is coming. They got 7 games left in their senior year, and so everything is not to get sentimental or emotional. I don't want to cry here today, but it's like these last days for these guys. Last practices. Take advantage of it. Have no regrets. Give it everything you got, and that's what we're focused on.